What up? What up? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Sorry about yesterday. We had a bit of a little emergency. We had to skip yesterday's stream, but we're back with Mogul Moves Weekly on a Tuesday this time. Kind of better sometimes. You have more to like report on, I feel like, on a Tuesday, but that's just
Yeah.
If you've never joined us before, this is Mogul Moves Weekly. We cover everything from box office buzz to industry power plays and all things Mogul by MoviePass. My name's Luigi. I'm the host of this stream, and I'm joined today by Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hey guys.
Let's jump into it. A lot happening, I feel like, in the movie world.
Yeah.
Um, so let's cover this weekend's performance.
Yeah, it was a pretty strong weekend actually. We had kind of been chatting about how uh, first week of December is usually kind of dead. I mean, even the first, 1 or 2 weeks of December between Thanksgiving and Christmas, but there were some strong releases this weekend. The big one, obviously Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I think the last number we talked about was 50 million and it ended up doing 63 million over the weekend.
Mhm.
So 50 would have already been strong and it did, 20% beyond that. So really strong weekend for Five Nights at Freddy's. The Jujutsu Kaisen movie also overperforming. We saw 8 and 9 leading up to the release, and it ended up doing a bit over 10. So the anime movies continuing to perform well domestically. Um, and then the other ones were all pretty small, but kind of filling things out. Kill Bill did 3.2 million, which pretty amazing for a 4.5 hour movie release. Um, Merrily We Roll Along, 1.2 million. Hamnet did 2.3 million. 100 Nights of Hero did 250,000. So a couple smaller releases rounding things out, but I would say some interesting ones.
250,000. That's like, how do you even justify
Yes.
putting
Yeah,
it in theaters? Sorry, not that a movie's like worth is has to necessarily tie back to the box office, but it's a tough
that is
sell.
small,
Yeah,
respectfully.
yeah. Absolutely respectfully. Okay, cool. So we've talked about the holdover being Zootopia, I think still running strong.
Yeah, it did. Five Nights at Freddy's was number one over the weekend. Zootopia was number two. I think we've kind of been discussing, how will Wicked hold over? How will Zootopia hold over? And at least this weekend, Zootopia 2 was definitely the big winner. It did 43 million, and Wicked only did 17. That's kind of an internal conversation we've been having. I think Wicked will continue to linger around, obviously, but I think maybe the second movie has a little less curb appeal than the first one. Um, the people that were going to see it might see it quickly, and it might linger a little bit less. But yeah, Zootopia 2 doing well this past weekend.
Yeah, interesting. And still lots of, I think, interest with Zootopia in China specifically. I just saw like a TikTok the other day that was I didn't realize this, but the China in Shanghai has a Zootopia ride dedicated to it. And they
Hmm.
like revamped it for the movie.
I did not know that. I mean, that would be, yeah, that would definitely help the numbers.
Just some niche insight for you. These this week's movers, Jujutsu Kaisen and Five Nights at Freddy's, I think not a surprise there.
Yep.
So let's move on to our pick holds and drops of the week. Josh, why don't you start us off? Kind of a quiet
It's,
weekend.
yeah, this is kind of the quiet week we were expecting. This past weekend was strong. Obviously, next weekend is going to be crazy. Uh, Really only a few releases. I think the obvious pick is probably Ella McKay. The one that I'm looking at is Scarlet, which is another anime release. You mentioned it might be IMAX only, so uh, you might have to look out for it on only big screen PLF theaters. But the animation is beautiful. I'm sticking with the anime movie trend, and I'm going to say that's my pick for this week.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, do we have any numbers on the re-release of The Grinch? I would
Um,
expect that to do maybe better than Ellen McKay.
That's a good shout out, actually. I do have a number. It is supposed to do around 3.5. So that would be the number one new release this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I already know people that like are going to that because
Yeah.
we're just getting in the spirit, you know?
Yeah, we love the Grinch.
Yeah, it's so good. So that would be my pick this week. My hold would probably be Zootopia again, and then I think my drop would be I'm looking at last week's.
I
Let's
think
just
I'm
drop. What was your, did you already say yours? Sorry.
no, I think I'm holding Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't think that's going to hold over too long, but with this weekend being so quiet, I think this
Mhm.
is probably the weekend to hold. And I guess just based on the numbers we're seeing, probably dropping Wicked if you're still holding that. Kind of looks like it's quieting down on that front.
Yeah, I was gonna say drop Wicked, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Still one of the highest performing movies of in the season, but
Yeah, of the year.
of the year. Yeah. All right, let's move into our trending topics for the week/weekend. For those of you that don't know, the Golden Globes released their nominations. I think the headlines here are that one battle after another really took sort of the lead with nine nominations in total, which ties Barbie and Cabaret as the third most nominated film in Golden Globes history. Kind of amazing
Man,
they did that. Such kind of a
that,
smaller film, right?
I know it's in the news. I know it must be in the news because my mom texted me this morning if I had seen it. She hadn't
Ah,
caught it yet, so she was. Yeah, it must be percolating.
yeah, right, exactly. The other kind of headline is that Neon and Netflix dominated overall. I mean, Neon had hits like Weapons. Did they do one battle after another?
Mm,
Who
I would
did?
be surprised
Yeah, does
with
not seem like a
PTA.
Neon vibe. Okay, what did Neon do? Let's look this up really quick. They did one battle after there. They did Weapons for sure. I know that. Did they do Sinners?
That yeah, they could have done Sinners. Sentimental Value, it looks like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
which I know has been getting some like a bit
Yes.
of buzz.
A lot of buzz. And then this this foreign film called what was it called? It was just an accident. Have you seen that? Or heard of it?
No,
It's
heard of
like
it.
let's say it's out of like don't quote me. Actually, I'm not going to say anything. I'm like it's not it's for sure a foreign film. That much I know. So anyway, Neon kind of just like the front runner, and then obviously Netflix with not just its movies like Frankenstein, but also the TV. The TV that they've been putting out this year has been making a lot of buzz. It's just the nature of this specific award show because it combines both TV and movies, but
Yeah,
Neon might come out on top the
yeah.
award show.
It's too bad that Netflix released Frankenstein so limited, but it was like if you saw it, it was definitely an obvious Oscar choice. Like there's so many categories that it could have been nominated for.
Yeah, 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 for sure. It's an incredible movie, beautiful. Some interesting new marketing for this movie, The Drama from A24. It stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Uh, they're very clearly a couple in this movie, but the marketing team took out um, a let's just call it an engagement profile in the Boston Globe. The idea of this movie, I guess, is that this couple is about to get married and they learn something that drastically shapes their future in marriage right before their wedding. So cool, kind of cool way to get in there and like get people talking about a movie. I haven't seen anything like this in a little bit, but I always feel like A24 gets marketing so sort of succinctly. They
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I mean, two of our most beloved current stars, so this will
Yeah.
obviously continue to have a lot of buzz.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Looks cool. We got so I don't know about your feeds, but my feeds are pretty much declaring Callum Turner as the top sort of contender for the Bond, for the next Bond. Um, all of the other sort of names that have been in the mix are kind of fading away for me, and now I really see him kind of rising to the top as the front runner. So let's watch out for that. Josh was like, what has he been in? Can't tell you. Not a ton. I mean, there's like that, like I said, Josh, the old Harry Potter, or the sort of sequel. It's actually a prequel to Harry Potter, or is it sequel? No, it's a prequel.
Prequel. Yeah,
It's
because
a
it
prequel.
has Dumbledore.
Yes, yes, yes. He's in that, and then he's also in that movie about the rowers. That was like Americana.
I mean, I do kind of like that. I feel
Yeah.
like Daniel Craig was like that a little bit when he got cast as Bond. Like at that time, I don't think most people could have named his biggest films before that.
Hmm.
It's kind of nice to see like a fresh face. I feel like he fits the bill. So
Yeah.
we're unofficially crowning him Bond for the time being.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we should take bets now.
Yeah,
And then we just have to just quickly touch on this because it is just prevalent. It's prevalent, isn't it? Prevalent.
yeah,
Netflix and WB merge. Netflix buys WB. Kind of shocking to the system as a whole. The industry is sort of crumbling below this news. Um, I think people are freaking out a little too much, in
probably.
my opinion.
I can't imagine. I mean, I think the silver lining take is probably I can't imagine Warner Brothers like letting go of their
Right.
film to theater pipeline just because a merger is being done. Um, Obviously, on the flip side, Netflix is not like they've been about the least friendly towards like movie theater going and in theater attendance as any of the big players. So I mean, that's the major concern is that, one of the biggest movie studios could get kind of gutted in that sense. But I think it probably plays out in a less dramatic way.
I think so too. I think like a lot of the criticisms to Netflix, this could provide a solution to that, right? Like where
Exactly.
everyone's sort of like, I think there's this move towards a more analog lifestyle. So there could be a world where like this could help that, and then vice versa. Like people who are only wanting to experience things in theaters might start watching things streaming more. Who knows? Like, I think it just creates, it is definitely like a shock to the system, but I don't know that it's necessarily a bad one.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to wait and see, unfortunately, as with a lot of things.
Agreed. Really quick, our leaderboard shout out. We had a little bit of movement since last week. We got now at the top spot. Oh, top spot stayed the same with Prokop. SJ Studios has now taken over to second place. A new a new player in the top five, Foxtrot and Zenbu and WRBB, since we've gotten actually like a nice influx of players in the last couple weeks. So there's still ways. I know we're like late into the season, but there's still ways to move up, as you can see. A lot of these people were not in the top five last week, and now they are. So if you haven't yet, sign up for Mogul by MoviePass at Mogul by MoviePass.com. MogulGame.MoviePass.com. There's so many URLs that like I just lose track of. This one is mogulgame.moviepass.com. Sign up today and you can start playing.
Yeah, get in there, guys.
All right, thanks. See y'all later.